Hey guys, welcome back to the start of today's video. Sometimes I feel it's necessary to start videos in different settings and stuff because it gets a little bit repetitive when we're always at home. So we're in this park, in this parking lot. And we've got the AU Falcon, because that's what we're going to be working on today. A few little things that we need to fix up on the Falcon. It is leaking coolant from the thermostat housing just at the top there. We also need to add a clutch spring as well because the clutch pedal right now is super floppy and it can go anywhere. We got some advice from AU Drift Society, aka Jamie. He said that we could use the throttle return spring because they are like pretty much the same thing. So we're gonna get a throttle return spring for an AU Falcon and see if that fixes this thing flopping everywhere. All right, let's start this thing. Make sure it's in neutral. Yeah, we're good. Woohoo! Quickly on the exhaust note before we head off. Dude, I reckon it's pretty good. It's at that level where like you can hear the exhaust and it adds to the driving experience. And it's also not obnoxiously loud, so people across 3 streets from you can hear you. So I reckon this is perfect and I'm not gonna change it. So we do need to do a full coolant flush because we are taking that thermostat off, and the radiator overflow is also disgusting. It's brown again, even though I flushed it out so many times. So we're gonna pick up some new radiator fluid / coolant. I don't know why I call it radiator fluid. And we're also gonna get a thermostat gasket because we didn't actually get a thermostat gasket. We just reused the one that was on the old one, which I shouldn't have done, but maybe I'll add some sealant as well.
Please make it going.
Hey, I've got 2 orders. Sweet. Thank you very much.
No worries. Have a good night, mate.
Thanks. The beautiful thing about having the lock diff is I'm now able to get up this steep driveway. In one of the previous videos, you could see that we actually got stuck at this driveway and now you had to get out of the car to push me because we probably got stuck. So there's benefits to having a lock diff. Alright, so we're back home. We've got our coolant, we've got our spring and our thermostat gasket. Here's our coolant. We're gonna get to work and hopefully we can fix all this stuff. All right, sick. That's one problem out the way. The clutch pedal is now mint. Spring is holding it from like flicking back up. So you can still move it up, but it returns back to where it should be, which is mad. And there's not enough pressure to be actually pushing on the clutch, causing slippage. So that's mint. All right, I'll get a look at the spring right there. Can you see that? There's a better look at the spring. You can see it just chilling right there. It somehow just worked. So I didn't end up using a AU Falcon throttle spring. I used this random spring on Repco's website that was available. Here's the part number. I'll leave it on the screen for you just here. Pause it, take the note of that if you were doing a manual swap on your AU Falcon 2, because this is the spring that you'll need for your pedal to return. So when we did the coolant flush on the AU Falcon, we spent hours trying to get rid of all the brownness, all the different chunks of rust that was in the engine and the cooling system. And a couple weeks later, it's now brown again. So we're gonna do another flush, top the thing up with coolant again. We're not gonna use radiator flush this time. We're just gonna use straight water. And hopefully we can get rid of the remaining rust and stuff in there because man, it is... Why are you so rusty? I don't think it's smart taking this thing to a drift event with coolant that looks like poo, especially when you're really stressing out this engine. It's just not smart, so we're gonna change the coolant. Oh, scared the fuck out of me. You love to make an entrance. I say I want you saying back there. It's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours almost. I've just been flushing the cooling system out and it's like not really getting that much better. I mean, it has gotten a little bit better, but it's still like kind of pooey brown. Not as crazy as it was before, as you can see here. There you go, that's the color of it now. It's definitely a lot better. I think I'm just gonna chuck some coolant in and just run with it just for another, I don't know, a couple 100 kilometers and just do the same thing over and over the span of like a couple months because man, it's just so brown. I I'll show you where the thermostat was also leaking. So you can see, this is the gasket that goes around the thermostat. I used the old gasket because I just could be bothered buying a new one, and I thought, you know, should be right. Well, the real truth is I just forgot to buy a gasket, and I thought this one was gonna suffice, but it didn't. So we have our new gasket. I'll give you the part number for that as well, if you didn't see that. DTG11, if you need a gasket for your thermostat. So there you go. Falcon all fixed. I'm pretty sure that's like everything that we need to do for the time being. We do need to bed the clutch in, although I've been sending it pretty hard, sort of given up on that. So it's just so fun to drive. I'm so keen to take this thing to the track and start drifting it. And I want to talk a little bit about why you should get one of these cars, because if you're like me and you've been following the market for these things, you're gonna know that these things sell like hotcakes. They just disappear. As soon as you try to put up an offer for one, they're already gone and sold to someone else. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why people are trying to buy up these Falcons, because they're actually like a pretty cool car. And I say it like that because I never thought I'd say that about an AU Falcon. I mean, they're definitely not the prettiest car. Fun fact, actually, the person who designed it actually got fired by Ford back in the day, because it's not the best looking car, let's be real. There's a few things that make Ford Falcons great cars. One of them is that they are pretty damn easy to work on. Like, there are a few confusing things. Like, usually, like, I would look at something and be like, okay, I understand how to do that, because it's so obvious in how everything's made. But when you try physically apply that and use your hands and actually touch things, you realize that some of it's a little bit, you know, questionable, the engineering behind some of the stuff. Like, especially when I'm used to working on JDM cars where everything's just so easy to work on. And that's not me fanboying over them. They are a better car, it just has to be said. But for the price, you really can't complain about these AU Falcons. The next thing, of course, if you're like me, you want to get into drift. And this is the cheapest car that you can buy right now to get into drifting. There's really not a whole lot out there. All the S chassis, all the JZX100s are going really high up in price. Speaking of S chassis, would you rather have one of these or 20 AU Falcons?
20? More like 40.
S chassis, AU Falcon. Another great thing about having one of these mighty AU Falcons is that parts are easily accessible. You go to the wreckers, and there's not one, not two, there's about 50 AU Falcons in every wreckers. It's next level. Everywhere you look, there's a full complete AU Falcon to grab parts from. You can just friggin' take whatever you want. You can yeet an engine if you needed to, because yeah, it's just super easy to find things for this thing. If you need a new interior, if you want to upgrade to like the top premium model, then you can just go to the wreckers, because there are plenty of them there too. So things that I've got from the wreckers are this overflow, for example. So you see this thing, got this from the wreckers because mine one was completely destroyed. It was just covered in rust, and it was probably on the way to cracking because they are known to crack. I've also picked myself up a full intake system. I had a gas model, and there were all these other vacuum lines that went to all the different airbox stuff, so got that. I also got my entire T5 manual swap from a wreckers as well. So parts are easily accessible for this thing and easier to get a hold of. You just need to look in the right places, and it's just another problem with like a car like this and a car like that. If you want parts, if you break something, good luck. Especially when you're drifting, like you're most likely to break something like a bumper, suspension and stuff. You don't want to have to be spending so much money and time. You want to just be able to go to the wreckers and pick up some stuff. So now the next thing with getting an AU Falcon and why you need to buy one right now is the fact, and I said this before, they are going up in value, and you can buy these cars purely for an investment. I know it sounds stupid, an AU Falcon, look at it. So I know this guy who bought his AU Falcon for $150 2 years ago. I paid 10 times that price for mine, roughly around 10 times that price, and they're still going up in value. Like, I can't find another one for less than $1,000 now. And if they do come up, they're immediately sold. So if you want one of these cars, you better buy one quick, because they are disappearing, and people are all buying them for the same sort of reason I'm buying them, or trying to buy them, because they're just going to go up in value. Just buy an AU Falcon. Just buy one. Just have one of these beauties. So I've got the R32 chilling over here. We're trying to figure out how to start this thing. Lachlan just ordered a pipe, and it's not the right part, unfortunately. So we're gonna try to jig up something to hopefully get all the vacuum leaks sorted in the R32. So maybe it'll turn over today. I don't know.
Got sold the wrong part. My luck with this car's really quite mint, isn't it?
Happy it's not me. Well, I mean, I can't afford this anyway, so it's still not as good as an RB20.
I probably haven't shown you this, but we got a whole bunch of new tools as well. So we got the cutting thingamajiggo.
Bandsaw.
Yeah, bandsaw. That's what it's called. And we also got the welder as well. Yeah, we've been practicing welding. But yeah, we're just chopping up a pipe now for the R32. Hopefully we can jig something up so we can make Lachlan's car and at least have all the vacuum leaks fixed. But I don't really think this is gonna work. Seems like it's more of a fueling issue.
next?
So unfortunately we didn't get Lachlan's car started. It's having a spark issue, we believe now, because the coil packs are a little bit degraded from, I guess, just time and also the fire that occurred in the engine bay. Anyway, before we finish off today's video, I've got these AU Falcon open differential gears that I thought I'd keep for myself. Have a suss at this. I was just gonna keep these as like paperweights for all the stickers, but I've decided to maybe give these away to you guys. So we've got 3 of them. The rest I'm gonna keep for myself because I think they're pretty cool, but I'm gonna chuck them in every single order over $40. I'm not gonna pick and choose. I'm just gonna throw them in some random orders, these open diff gears. So if you want to win one of these, I guess, then go to the benkyspec.com website and you can have part of my AU Falcon. The single peg life. They're pretty cool. I don't know why I like this stuff so good. I clean them up really nice too, so very nice, very nice. Every order over $40 as well will get a keychain, an AU Falcon keychain. So if you don't win one of the gears, you'll get an AU Falcon keychain for free no matter what. Go check out the website. We've got some cool stuff. We've got jet tags. Here's a look at the brand new ones that we just got in. Benky Spec. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you for sticking around. Let me know your favorite thing about AU Falcons. What do you appreciate most about a car that didn't really seem like anything until maybe the start of this year? I don't know, Pete. The hype has risen. There's a massive hype behind it now. Having an AU Falcon, it's strange. But let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you later. Peace out. Out of anything. Like, it actually moves now.
Ridiculous. Oh my God.